Hello everyone and welcome to a new Let's Play of Hearts of Iron 4, where I'll be playing with the Black Ice mod installed. This will be my first real LP for Hearts of Iron, and yeah, I've reinvented Hearts of Iron 4, so to say. I wasn't really pleased with how the game worked initially, but with the Black Ice mod I've actually had a ton of fun. And that's why I'll start making Hearts of Iron 4 videos. So, for my first LP, I want to play as the country that I like playing the most. Out of, well, actually all the countries that participated in World War II. And that's Italy. It's, yeah, that's my favorite country to play as. Let's start with this here brief history. On the back of the rise of fascism, Italy expects a new glorious era. Its forces are currently persuading Ethiopia to be added to the growing Italian colonial empire, but do Benito Mussolini's ambitions stop there? Dominion over the Mediterranean basin has surely always been her destiny. With a new order of things seemingly taking shape in Europe, when the tidal wave of change arrives, Italy must find a place at its crest or run the risk of being swept away. Like I said, I'm playing this with the Black Ice mod. I'll start with just regular difficulty for now. I might always change that if it seems to be too easy for whatever reason. That might not necessarily be the case. Yeah, the Black Ice mod is a historical immersion mod, so it does do quite a lot of things to not only make the game more difficult, but also to immerse you more into World War II. We can already see that by just looking at this gargantuan, gorgeous, absolutely amazing national focus tree. For the Italians alone, of course, I think the one for the Germans is even more extensive. Let's take a quick peek. Well, not particularly. Actually, it seems like the one for the Italians might even be... Well, no, it's not bigger. Never mind. You have to scroll out for this one. So, okay, maybe the German one is even bigger. But still, you know, still. Yeah, we'll be starting out with the Italians. As a quick note before we start, there are, of course, always a couple of rules that I want to set myself to before I get started, so that when you jump into the middle of the Let's Play, you're thinking, why is this guy making these weird choices? Well, there's a very specific reason for that, and that's because I'll be role-playing this game a bit as well. So there are certain prerequisites that I want to hold myself to. For example, I always want to meet the garrison requirement in each particular area, and then I also want to beef up the garrisons in the home country, Italy in this case, itself. That is usually a very heavy burden on the manpower and on the production lines, but I do think that this makes a more reasonable, say for example that Italy is able to conquer Yugoslavia, then naturally they're going to need a lot of forces in order to tie Yugoslavia down. And it wouldn't make sense just to post whatever, 5,000 men in entire Yugoslavia just to keep them down. No, they're going to need 30 units worth of garrison just to keep the country down. And I'm trying to, you know, reenact that by meeting the garrison requirement at any given time, for example. Secondly, I am not going to go to war with any country for which I have a national focus, if I can help it. For example, at the... well, basically almost at the end of the focus tree for the Italians, there is the Into the Black Sea focus, which gives me a conquer war goal against the Republic of Turkey. What does that mean? Well, I will not be using the diplomacy justify war goal on the Republic of Turkey, simply because, well, there is a national focus for that. So I am not going to justify the war goal. And not only that... No, we can actually do this already because... Okay, well, never mind. Anyway, it works for other countries as well, such as the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, Albania, Greece, things like that. There are national focuses for that. So I am naturally not going to set a war goal. for those guys. Bulgaria doesn't have one, so I can declare war or justify war on Bulgaria whenever I want to, because there's just no national focus that will allow me to do that. That's another restriction that will make the game much harder for, well, any country that I decide to play as, because we get to start declaring war much later. For example, we have the claims on Yugoslavia. It requires me to be in the Axis already. I have to either join the Axis or I need to have, like it says here, befriended Romania after doing the Italy First tree. So after the claims, that's only these 3 parts. I have to re-establish the claims in order to get a conquer war goal. This, you can already see, takes a very long time. Having to be in the Axis and to re-establish the claims means that France must be pretty much subdued before I can start attacking Yugoslavia, which means it's already going to be very, very late. That's it for those things. So 1, garrison requirement, and 2, if there is a national focus, I will not use a declaration of war. I will not justify on them. 3rd, I will try to take a somewhat historical route for the... well, not necessarily a historical route, but I want to go through the national focuses pretty much in a kind of let's play fashion. So I do want to do stuff like the BICE, Ethiopian War Logistics, etc., etc. Some of the national focuses just aren't worth it, really. They're not that great, but out of a historical perspective, I do want to do them, and I do want to work them out. So yeah, those are the things that I'm going to have to do. I will also be reading the text for the national focuses, because you won't see these national focuses in the main game. Alright, that was a big mouthful, so let's get started. First of all, we're actually at war with Ethiopia, but we'll deal with that in a little bit. First of all, let's start our research. And what I want to do is the all-purpose ones are usually going to be used for industrial development or engineering and advanced tech. We already got these 2, so we don't have to worry about that, but we can still go for mechanical computing, with better research speed. And then I'll also go for... let's see, yeah, for construction 1 to build my buildings faster. Next up, how are we on artillery? We don't have any heavy artillery yet. And this is anti-tank cannons, so we need to go for both. This is anti-air as well. Let's start with these guys. No, because we can't build the heavy artillery yet anyway. So I'll just start with the anti-air guns. How many? Okay, yeah, we have 2 for air, 1 for the doctrines and another for the regular planes. I do want to keep that division. I'll use the battlefield support doctrine tree. So let's get started working on that. This is the naval tree. Let's see, this deals with the engines. We're actually pretty far behind on these things already. Torpedoes, very bad. I don't know all the ins and outs of the Italian campaign tree, or Italian tech tree, so that's why I do need to research these things already a little bit. Carrier hull, huh? Improved. All right, let's actually get started with the improved carrier hull. I do want carriers for the Italians, so let's get started on that. Then advanced aircraft engine is later, just like the motor jet. 936. We currently don't have too many great... This is medium bombers. Tech tree. Would have been nice if they made a distinction up here for the Italians. I know they have one for the Germans. I mean, the CR-42 is a very famous bomber. Or a fighter, sorry. Yeah, this... exactly the CR-42. But let's just start on the CR-41 right now. The A-65 was also pretty decent, I thought. Sure, let's go for that multi-role first. That's also fine. Alright, that's the research for now. Then, free civilian factories. We would probably do well to build a few more civilian factories already. I think that's fine. Let's just spread them out a little bit. We have 16 right now. I think we can do better. So let's keep working. This will keep them busy for a bit of time. Next up, we want to go for national focuses. Because we're at war with the Ethiopians right now, I want to do both of these. Let's start with the Army Chimiche. Ethiopia is more difficult than what we thought. Maybe we need a little help with some chemical weapons. You have a pair of old socks never been washed, sure. But yeah, the Italians started using some chemical weapons in Ethiopia because indeed it proved to be quite difficult for them to conquer it. Okay, this is a bit of a mess. Ooh. Okay, let's get rid of all of that for now and take a look at these first. So, pre-war infantry equipment, we need quite a lot of that. These are already obsolete. This is basic infantry trucks, but we have improved infantry trucks. Just like World War I field uniforms can go to the M37. Right, I do think so. Yeah, that's the equivalent there. Then we do have a pretty reasonable account for most of the other ones, but we're missing something at the very least. Quite a lot. Horse artillery transport. Let's start with that. I'll get all of them in the production queue first, and then we'll see how much we need of everything. Next up, artillery truck transport as well. Where are you? I'm gonna have to do a bit of searching because they have just so many different types of production. Mountain artillery. Yeah, that's very different from the base game where everything is actually quite simplified. Mountain warfare equipment, that's not what I needed. I needed the... Come on. What was it now? Mountain artillery. This is the mountain artillery. What else? We need armored car units. That's this. Next up, we're missing recon infantry equipment. Sure. Next up, light vehicles. This is the light utility vehicles. Next up, mechanized. I don't know what they mean with just mechanized. Mechanized what? Really, guys? Mortar team. How am I supposed to know what that means? Mechanized. Is it motorcycle infantry equipment? Mechanized? It was! Hooray! Got in the first try. Okay, so we actually have a few military factories left. What I want to check first is we're building these tankettes and... Okay, so these are already obsolete. We're building some transports as well. But this will require me to take care of the Air Force and build some divisions. So let's take a look first. What do we have here? Normal financial operations. I'll want to go to wartime domestic bonds for weekly war support in due time. 3-year draft currently and the 19 to 25 age bracket that gets recruited. Sure. Things don't start going downhill until you get to the 18 to 40 bracket, which is huge already. Can you imagine that all males 18 to 40 in your country get drafted? That's a gargantuan group. Right. But that is good to know. Let's go to recruit and deployment. I want to put upgrades at the lowest, reinforcements at the highest. Currently we have 40 out of 42 allowed special force battalions. So I don't know what will happen if I, for example, create another mountain troop. Because then technically I will have 43 battalions, and that doesn't, you know, it doesn't work like that. So it claims that I can train this, but that shouldn't be the case. So I don't know what that does for me then, but that's not what I want here. First of all, I do want quite a few garrison units. That if we take a look at this is a garrison, it's a coastal artillery unit. That's not necessarily what I'm looking for. This is a militia. I have no army experience right now, so I can't actually edit this. Alright. So no garrisons yet, but I will definitely... It's also a mountain unit. One special forces battalion. Why would these guys have pack artillery suddenly? I mean, this makes a lot more sense. Okay. The Alpine Divisions. Colonial Divisions. I need to know which units I actually want to, you know, produce here. Man, these are a bunch of horse dung. So not great. There are no regular infantry. Ugh. Okay. Cavalry, motorized infantry, and tankette battalions. I have to say that I'm not pleased with these. I guess this is a pretty decent cavalry battalion. Which I come with 23, so I would have to adjust that too. My. The game, or at least the Black Ice mod, uses increments of 25 combat width instead of 20. So you want to make your divisions in such a way that they have a combat width of either 25 or 50. Although I guess 25 would make more sense, at least for now. But yeah, these guys are just bad. Say that, like, these are 1.5. If I want to get a reasonable template, and let's just get rid of this, because these are 2. I would have to it's 24.5. I would have to get like anti-tank here, which I don't have yet, but yeah, these things are no combat width, so I guess armored car recon battalion is. But yeah, I can't really do anything there. Let's just start out with a couple of mechanized units. I'm not particularly happy about these, but combat with 14. No. Alright, let's see what we can do with an Alpine division like that. Let's just at least train one here. and set that location here. I'm actually quite curious to see what happens if I go over that limit. Then I'm gonna take a look at the most. Let's just take this, and then I'll change this infantry division and edit it later. Because I want to actually start making a few units here. Let's start with 5, and we'll change the template to suit our needs a little bit later, and then we can work on this, because currently this is just too bad right now. Then I can at least take a look what's needed here, because it does mean that I need quite a bit more of these. Let's get this to 3. This is 4 per week, 100 weeks, so this is 2 years already. Okay, it's all decent. What am I missing now? Field uniforms. Really? What? This is not field uniform? Did I take them away? Guess I did. Yeah, I need a lot. Okay, let's put that to the max as well. I'm still missing mountain warfare equipment. Okay. How much do I need? 110. So I need to take away from one factory. This is 200 days. 200 days. 30 weeks. Go from 10 to 7 a day. I mean, even... Yeah, and I can always pump more into that later. I think for now this is okay, and I do need to keep building these as well. Although, let's do that, because I don't want to get the factories all the way back up there. I really do like to have a factory that's working quite well on that. All right. Let's get started with setting up these guys, because we're going to be at war with France at some point. I do want to round up all the mountain troops over here and put them into one army. Don't have any other ones, I think. No, indeed. Let's put them under an army, and I mean, I need 2 of my best armies at least in Ethiopia right now, so I don't want to have Italo-Balbo and Messi in there. And the thing is that they're not going to be fighting yet, so it's fine for now. Let's pick this guy, and I'll have them basically only at this top area, because I want to use a different army down there. This is all still mountains. Okay. Then I'll just use the entire border. Come on. And at least assign all of the units there. So I'll probably assign some other units down on that last part. That's probably better. Let's do it like this, because I also want troops to bypass the mountains, and I'm gonna need, you know, some heavy duty guys for that. So I need a second army there. Let's take a total of currently 3 divisions to make a new army. He's a cavalry leader, so I don't need that. He's still a bad general, huh? Sure, that's fine actually. Let's have them take that, and they'll be assigned to those guys. All right. Next up, I want to round up all the garrison units. These are coastal garrison units, am I right? Yeah, they're coastal units. So I actually want to keep these guys in the position that they're at and not move them. I don't want the coastal artillery to get damaged, first and foremost. Unless they're in bad spots, but we'll see about that. But I don't want the coastal units to get damaged. I'd rather just take a guy who has some defenses here. Like, some of these guys are really good. At least they're not bad. So I don't want any of those. Let's see. Preferably just one with some defenses. Sure, that's fine. Usually the way I want to do this is I want to split my guys into attacking forces and in garrison forces, the army groups at least. So these are going to be attacking forces, so I do want to have them under a good field marshal. For example, Graziani. And both of these guys will be working on that. But for you, I want to have a new army group. And let's see, defense, logistics, backs entrenchment. Yeah, see, I want this guy for the defenses, so they'll dig in better. And what else did he have? Nothing. Well, fine. Either way, that's just the way it's gonna work. Okay, next up, I still have a couple of units here that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 divisions, and I do need them close to this front if we break through France. So I'll have these 15 and get them under a new army. That's let's see, going to be Italo-Balbo later. Again, for now, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to switch up these guys later on anyway. I'm going to go just for Vittorio Ambrosio. And these guys got to do garrison behind the lines here for a bit, up in the north. Because, let's not take that here. Because I want them close, at least for now. All of these guys are trade recruits. So any of these, I will at least let them exercise. So we'll get them to hopefully level 11 at least. And it seems like these are also trained recruits. Let's switch him up because apparently he doesn't have enough capacity. Garibaldi, great. You can do what's necessary. Apparently I can train all of these guys as well. There we go. Now that's assigned. Next up is going to be... Wow, trade is terrible right now. Okay, let's take a look. I want to preferably get as many of my stuff from Germany if I can. And otherwise from countries that will likely be conquered, such as Yugoslavia. And I can't get rubber from any of those. So, Philippines, Belgium. Let's go for Belgium here. Because that way Germany still benefits from the trade afterwards, because they'll get another factory for that. Okay, there we go. So that's the trade done. That will disappear soon. We still have these cavalry divisions. Let's just sign them there. We have units in Italy. You will stay under this army, with all the coastal defenses. What do we have here? Just some other infantry. Oh, that's... yeah, I need that one other guy out there as well. These four, they will have their front line over here. And why is there only one selected right now? There we go, 5 divisions. Wait. Yeah, sweet. I just messed that up. They shouldn't be under this army. These four will go into a new army, so great. Okay, they'll just be changing, not moving. These four will actually need one with wait, what is the East Africa campaign medal? Supply consumption, Panzer leader, logistics wizard. Yep, it's gonna be you. Okay. So that's those four. You guys are not gonna move. Yeah, I have no orders assigned. That's indeed exactly what I want. Let's assign all four to that front line there. And they'll make a push towards Alexandria, of course, later on, whenever they can. Alright, things have been... yeah, preparing has been taking long enough, but we're getting close, I guess. You guys need to be put under Graziani. Next up, these guys. You're going to be one army. And that army is going to be, let's see... I do want a mountaineer because most of this is actually mountain provinces. So this guy is pretty good. He's level 1 though. And it's quite a few units. It's 14, so I have to do it on capacity as well. There aren't that many that can take 14 at least. No. Inflexible strategist. But it does look pretty good. Okay. Do we have any other mountaineers? I mean, this guy is good enough, so I'll select him. That's for these. They will have their front line over here. That's all the divisions. And well, the thing is, I kind of need them to spearhead, no, like this, because that way they'll take this, this, and this. And you're going to be another army. Let's select these and put them at the very least under Graziani here. You guys will be assembled and put under... These guys don't need the mountaineers, so I can pick another guy. I mean, I don't need panzer leaders because, well, I don't have any tanks. This guy to be Desert Fox is also pretty good. These guys are already getting this old guard and stuff, so let's choose this guy. I really like logistics wizards, and attack +3 is also good enough. They have only 5 divisions, so I'll put them right here. Perfect. They're assigned. This is their front line. And what do I need them to do? Well, they are just going to get a basic offensive line. over to the back here because I just need them to go to Addis Ababa. I will give them in direct instructions anyway, but still. Alright, that takes care of that before we get started. Let's take a look at not the Air Force yet. Man, we need to do a lot of preparations. Okay, the Navy. I'd like to get at least all my Navy into Naples for the start of it. Let's see, we have some guys over here. Let's send you in there as well. Just like you. I'm going to spread them out later again, but I do want to sort them. Submarines that I have will go into Toronto for now. I don't know whether there is an actual event for the Toronto raid, but I want to make sure that I'm safe. You are going there, right? Yeah, sure, good. Okay, there were some ships out here too, just some destroyers, but also submarines, so I want to split them up. You out here, and the subs out here. There we go, that's taken care of. There might be some ships down here as well. Yes, there are. There we go. And that's the last of it. So let's get these out to Naples. Yeah, this stuff takes very, very long. But I'm going as fast as I can, actually. Alright, you here. There we go. That takes care of that. I will reorganize those in a little bit. Next up, Air Forces. What do we got? Well, there's a lot of splits. So what I want to do right now is get all these guys and move them all to... Let's see... to Rome. Every single one of them here. Even these guys, we're not at war yet. What do you mean you don't have coverage? I just want you to move. There we go. Yeah, I was clicking the province. Okay, they're all going there except the ones in Ethiopia. So, out here, we probably don't need more anyway. Let's have you on air superiority. You as well. You guys will do close air support. You too, and these are also close air support wings. So let's assign them. There we are. Alright, as for production of the Air Forces. I don't need additional transports for now, so let's cancel those. And I have no clue what this is. This is a... well, it's not a bomber, it looks like. Well, actually... Needed for upgrades, 52, so they're multi-role. Okay. The BA-64 MR is... They changed that, and light bombers, that's the CA-133, but... I actually don't want them to have upgrades, but I'm gonna put them all into bigger stacks. I reorganized them in a little bit. I do want to create more fighters, which I currently don't have. So let's get started working on those. So these are light fighters, but it's interesting that my light fighters are actually... They cost more than the regular fighters, so they are also most likely better. What's the difference in speed? Not much, but they have more air defense than these guys. More air attack. More agility. Alright, let's go for those light fighters then. And we'll see that we don't need... well, we'll still need upgrades, but once we reorganize these guys, no longer, I suppose. So, still outdated. Yeah, but that's a ship, and I presume it's a cruiser. Okay. I'll still building quite a few of these, but we'll just let them go because they're already being built for a bit. So, Yeah, it will take a while before we get to build our own ships after these guys are complete. Let's go and assign what these guys have to do. So first of all, I want these to attack there, and you'll just stay on guard for now. I think you can also attack there, just across the river, but that's rather unfortunate. So out here, the big problem is that, you know, these are mountains, so that does make things a bit more difficult, which means that rather I want to select most of these guys to move down here, except for the mountain troops. That won't. There we go. This first episode is going to be a little bit longer. I want to try and work on half-an-hour episodes soon enough. But yeah, with all this reorganization, things just going to take a little bit longer. Let's just see how things will proceed then. I'm putting this on slow right now because I am not only attacking. This is fine, and this is also fine. Good. Currently, we're immediately missing new equipment, and this is exactly why I'm busy with this stuff. Coastal artillery is immediately missed, of course, because of the training. We're immediately in short supply of that. What else? Motorcycle recon equipment. And that's here. Next up, what do we need as well? SMGs. SMGs. There we are. Alright. Okay, this is suddenly a whole lot more. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem, because we don't have those factories, but that's because we just built new units. So everything is in short supply. Nothing I can do. What's outdated? That's that. We can cancel that. Air units. You guys are moving there, aren't you? Okay, fine. I'll just wait until all my additional air units are there. They do seem to be right now, which means that I do get to reorganize the air forces. Alright, first of all, I'll pick out all the fighters, join them together. And I'll create a new air wing out of that. Let's make them into stacks of 200. Well, so I can take all of these fighters. 200 CR-32s, huh? Okay. I want only these, and let's send them out here for now. That means that if I put these at 300, let's set their limit. That means that they're going to try and get these guys full up to 300. Next, we have medium bombers. I can... This is light... okay, this is tactical, and we have light bombers here. Okay. Am I currently producing light bombers? Yes, I am, and not medium bombers, so I also still need to build more medium bombers, technically. Besides that, it says that it doesn't want any to be built, but there soon will be. Okay, let's put this at 300 here, set the limit, and they'll start working on it. Let's send those over there. These light bombers will also be put to 300. And I'll be using them here. The reason why I'm doing this is that because I don't want them to do upgrades of the Air Force, because I think that's a waste. I'd rather just have them destroy the old planes and then use the new ones. But I don't actually want them to continuously upgrade the old ones, because the game is just designed to do upgrades before reinforcements if you don't select that. And I actually never want them to replace the old ones with new ones. Okay, these are naval patrol bombers. Let's send those out to a different place as well. Just like these are air multi-roles. So they'll also go out here. They're not regular multi-role fighters. And let's see how things look like at that point. afterwards. Still waiting. Those guys are out there. Okay, what do we have left? Close air support, light fighters. More light fighters, apparently. Oh. So I need G's to join together. That's looking fine. The light bomber, tactical bomber. What are these? Oh, these are also light bombers. Okay, let's send these guys out there to join up with that. And I kind of need to send all the units that are currently producing. I need to send them back. I kind of want to do just all the producing stacks. I just want to keep them at Rome itself. That's probably for the best. Okay, there we are. That's taken care of. So again, okay, you're almost there. Let's just wait for a little bit. First couple of days. There we go. And join those together. Still 300. Close air support needs to be set at 300 as well. How are we doing on the production of close air support? Light bombers. This is multi-roll. As for these multi-rolls, they should stop. Oh, they're gonna still reorganize these anyway. Yeah, the only way that I can do something about this is by actually moving one of this out there and then sending this to 300. Move this multi-roll back over in here. And now they should no longer be using upgrades on them, but rather reinforcement. And that should happen soon enough, I think, after a day. Yeah, okay. These are needed for reinforcement. Excellent. So that's 5 and production of 5, except for these because I don't have the factory yet. So I kind of have to snoop it off of something. It's not nice, actually, because we're already doing quite poor on factories. Yeah, there's just literally nothing I can take that away from for now. Yep, that's bad. Let's put desert warfare equipment on there. Even though I can't do anything with that. Close air support? What? I'm already building close air support. They probably... Wait. That's weird. Air reinforcements. Close air support. I am making close air support. Well, anyway, the Army Chimicha is done. That's already 7 days, and we haven't really gotten any further there yet. But now we're working on Ethiopian War Logistics. We might have misjudged the logistic situation for our glorious conquest of Ethiopia. We must make it our primary goal to provide our brave troops with the necessary supplies on their march to victory, which gains us the price of building fast, more consumer good factories, but we'll get 1 infrastructure in Somaliland and Eritrea and 2 naval bases, so that's nice. Let's do that. It takes 14 days. I'm just gonna get rid of this because we're already building that. Yep, the League of Nations condemns us for doing that, but oh well. Yeah, there are a couple of guys who don't have any mission. Yemen volunteers. Okay. Sure, that's fine. Some areas are not doing very well in supplies, but that's okay. Yeah, our guys are not doing super well here. Okay. We did get that though, so what I'm gonna do currently, let's have you attack and you attack there while we venture to cut them off. There we go. And with these guys attacking there, they might hopefully hold them there. So we can cut off those units, and then hopefully we'll continue along this way here just fine. That shouldn't be too big of an issue. As for those air forces, they should be doing fine right now. I'll reorganize the Navy on the next episode. It's just gonna take too long here. You know, to also do that, I've hardly been advancing any in time. So, yeah, I kind of want to at least finish in Ethiopia before I finish this. Although I don't think it should be that hard to do that. You kind of have to stay there. It seems like they're bringing up some troops out there, but I don't think that's gonna be an issue. Okay, you're almost there. Good. As for these guys, I'm gonna split them up. Yeah, and these two will go down here this way. So block these while at the same time try to take that territory. We'll try to slip by as it is, and I'll also leave one unit out there. One unit will go around. Excellent. So these guys are toast, and yep, they're gone. Great. So both of these will follow their way through here. Seems like they're attacking down there, but that's not a good choice. I'm not gonna attack across the river though. So I will have you move forward as well towards Addis Ababa, and I'm quite sure that once Addis Ababa falls, we'll have secured victory already. So that is rather what I'm trying to do here. It seems like these guys are also trying to get back to Addis Ababa, which they're probably going to be sorry for. These guys are retreating, so I'll also send them down there. Alright, there's a lot of decisions. We can... Let's actually just not select any of them right now, because I'm not going to choose any of these at the moment anyway. So I don't want to be notified. Leave me alone. Better leave me alone. There's a lot of things that you have to untake. It's really unfortunate, I think, that it constantly gets back. We could abandon the naval treaty, and more than 20 world tension. There is actually not. Oh, but the naval conference is underway, so I can already stop doing this and abandon the treaty. London Naval Treaty signatory will give me +5 stability, +5 war support, dockyard output, and that, huh? There's really no reason to keep doing this. So let's abandon the naval treaties. The democracies of the world have foolishly shackled themselves to the rule of law, but in the struggle of nations there is but one law, that of nature, and the laws of nature require strength. We will not be contained in our desire to build a mighty fleet. Indeed. Let's just abandon it right away. We were going to do that anyway. Now that that's done, both Army Chimicha and Ethiopian War Logistics, I want to start working towards getting more research technology. So I'm kind of looking out for where those are. Definitely not up here yet. There's none out here for now. But there is this one, Learn from the Ethiopian War, which will give me another research slot. So if I research the Riforma Gentile and I've done Proclaim the Empire, then after that I'll be immediately able to get the additional research slot. There's also an additional research slot over here. So I also want to work towards that, and also the University of Trieste. So let's go for this one first and then work our way towards these two as well. Let's start with the Riforma Gentile. In 1923, the reform by Giovanni Gentile changed the educational system in Italy. Now, after 13 years, we can say it was a huge success. Gives us some national power and research speed plus 2%. So that's pretty decent. I do think this war should be over relatively quickly. I don't really see a whole lot of issues here in Ethiopia. They're trying to get back, but we're trying to outrace them in true blitzkrieg fashion. That's basically how it works. I mean, I think that for the Italians it basically took them a couple of months, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this is actually pretty good for me, because even if they're supposed to win, then... yeah, this is weird though, they're in my territory. Even if they're supposed to win, which they didn't, let's just put a new unit on there. Sure, that's all fine. We'll dispose of these guys quickly. We're at 50 now. We're currently losing, but I'm sure that eventually we'll win here. And one of these is, I guess, also... Ah, right. Kind of messed it up a little bit. I can see... Oof, really? Alright, let's just wait with those guys. It seems like some of my units did get quite tired. We'll take them down. We're not winning currently, but it will work out. See, this is 125 combat width, so any... terrain is terrible. It's mountainous terrain. So hopefully eventually we'll take them down. It seems like it's still gonna take a while here. But if they cannot reinforce, then eventually it should work out. Seriously? Okay. Which guys here are pretty decent organization as well. Yeah, only you. You should move in here as well. I don't need to take Harar or whatever. And I'll have at least these guys move in here and attack at Addis Ababa as well. You need to readjust your attack. If they can gain a little bit of organization back, that's also quite good. Yeah, so the only unfortunate thing here as well is that they're again getting reinforcements, so that just kind of sucks. But I should be able to keep attacking with a bunch of guys. Yeah, both of you guys are gonna attack Addis Ababa as fast as possible. Just like you, I need fresh recruits for that. To keep harassing them, because some of the units that I have are not up to snuff. Yeah, come on. I can't break off the attack. That would actually be the worst. Because if I do, then I'll be in trouble. Then they will reorganize and just altogether that will end with me in a pool of misery. The speech in front of Piacenza's workers. I'll hold on to that for now. At least the national focus is done here. So like I said, I do want to work on this then. The research that takes the least amount of time is expanding the industrial base. Let's make some room for buildings. Sure, let's do that. Let's do just that. How long is this gonna take? Guys are rather slow. I know it's mountains, but like I said, I need to keep attacking here. Same for these guys. I'd really appreciate it if they stayed there. Sure, he's ill. Keep harassing them. They have only one division left. So come on. You're very close now with these new troops. That should be the death blow for the last division. Unless they get a new one. Okay, what do we have now? Another decision. Increase the pay rates. I don't care. And let's switch these guys up for the BA 65. 16 days worth of production. Let's just wait for that one production to be done. Until... So, technically, they should already be finished, but... Okay, let's just wait for a little bit. Guys, come on. You're so close. And... Okay, they retreated. Good, good. I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to get in there, but some of them should be relatively close, I think. I want to make sure as well that they actually don't get in there with something else, and they do seem to try and get in there with some units, which would be a real shame if they were to succeed in that. So I'm going to use these to attack there as well, in the hopes that at least these guys will be able to get in there. So research slot available, of course, now that this fighter or this multi-role is done. Let's go for the CR41, so we can get a few slightly better fighters here. There we go. Excellent. And I do think that the war should be over once we're taking this. At least relatively soon. There's still quite a few guys going in here. Yep, there we go. No, I just actually want to take all states. And there we have it. Let's pause the game. Ethiopia is subdued. And yeah, that's quite a lot. I'm going to end the video here though. That's it for first episode of my new Italy campaign in Hearts of Iron 4, playing with the Hearts of Iron, with the Black Ice mod, not with the Hearts of Iron mod, the Black Ice mod. I want to thank you for watching. Do hope you enjoyed the first one. If you did, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. So take care. See you then. Bye-bye.